Today's topic we're talking about is capacity. And capacity means the maximum something can contain. And we feel like right now, I do too much. Right, Balboa? Because having full capacity, it doesn't just mean that, I'm doing everything wrong so the burdens are piling on me. Having full capacity means I'm taking on too much that I'm not supposed to also. There's different ways that we can feel like we have reached our capacity. I love so hard that everyone that's going through something I'm trying to save. I love so hard that everyone that I love that's going through something I'm trying to save. You know what happens when we feel like we have hit full capacity in our life that, I can't do this. This is getting too hard. It's too heavy. When we come to that point, because we're running around, come on, T, we're running around. We love so hard that we try to save everybody. And though we're treading in the water after a shipwreck and our family members are all around, we're handing out life vests. We're handing out lifesavers everywhere. We're handing them out all the time until we get to the end. We don't realize we don't have one for ourselves. And we begin to go down because we've been caught up in the love for everyone else that we didn't remember us. Queen, hey love, y'all hear me? King and queens? Come on, Super Diamond. Come on, Taylor. You're speaking my truth. Come on. We done gave everybody the life vest, and when it came down to us to survive, there wasn't none left. We never even considered ourselves because we are so blinded in love for others. How can we help someone if we're not there? How can we help someone if we're not at our best? How can I go to help you if I've reached my full capacity? There ain't no more room left, King. There ain't no more room left, Queen. But you know what? We try to do it anyway. If you've been there, hit a 1 in the comments. If you have come to the point that you couldn't even handle anything else, and then your child asks you, well, Mom, can you do this? Or your child asks you, well, Dad, can you do this? And you're like, all right, I'll be right there. You know that you are clinging on to life, but you still ignore it and you go do something for someone else. Come on, Dre. You ignore all the warning signs. You ignore the pain. You ignore the exhaustion. You ignore the hurt, the misunderstanding. You ignore everything that's going on with you to go see to somebody else. But my question is to you, King and Queen, who's sing to you? My question for you, King and Queens, is who is singing to you? Who is asking? Come on, Juicy. Who is asking if you're okay? Who is asking if you need a life jacket? Come on now. The strongest people are the loneliest people. This is proven. There's something about strength that we have, and I'm going to speak for me and my family. I have so many people that come to me, Candy, I'm going through this. Candy, I love them. Candy, help me with this. Candy, this, that, And when I read something, I said, you know what? Sometimes we love people so much and we're so strong. You're wonderful, so clean. Oh, thank you. Preacher, come on. We're so strong that, we don't recognize the strongest people are the loneliest people. Because a lot of times no one's seeing to them. And you know what? I've learned through this life that there's a purpose for that. A lot of times, yes, preacher, a lot of times the strongest people are the loneliest is because they got to go through certain tests. They carry so much weight. So they go through their things alone to be stronger for people. Do you hear me? They go through their things so there isn't a dependency so they can be stronger for people. You know, because if I depend on something, and my strength is dependent on a person, and yet there's so many people in my life depending on a strength from me, then if that person that I'm connected to leaves, or that person isn't in my life no more, I can't help the people that are connected to me. JJ, Lauren, yes, love, Reese, Gabriel, thank you, love. I love you, JJ. Jay. Oh, well, okay, two JJ. JJ and JJ. My JJ. A new JJ. Welcome. Daddy's girl, welcome, love. Everyone, I thank you for helping me get closer to my goal. 4 stars. You guys are awesome. Come on, Lauren. I love you, queen. Welcome. Great rising. All right, so we said that the capacity is the maximum that something can contain. Right? So when we talk about our capacity being full, we can be taking, hi priestess, thank you, love. Hi beautiful, grand rising. God, Gaylord, hey love. Zuday. So when I talk about your capacity being full, I'm going to switch it up a little bit, king and queens, and I'm going to tell you to have capacity. We got to get more. And I'm not talking about getting more for people. I'm talking about getting more for you. I'm talking about getting more for what has been promised for you, not so you could help more people and forget about yourself. The issue is that we love people more than we love ourselves. That's why we reach these full capacities. That's why we can't do what we, at the end of the day, we can't do for ourselves, because we've been doing for everyone else. Oh yeah, I helped my best friend get to her goal. I helped my father get to his goal. Yeah. I helped my mom. Yeah, I helped my mom. I helped my sister. I helped her get to that goal. Come on, royalty. Come on, super. Well, I've helped I helped them get to their goal. But what about next year is good, and then the next year you help somebody else with their goal. And then you say next year, and the next year you help somebody else with their goal. What does that mean, Kat? What does that translate? That translates that you love people more than you love yourself. Because if you're going harder for people and even your kids, that means you don't love yourself as much as you love them. And that's an issue. We don't want to recognize it, but that's an issue. That's a problem. There's something going on in our foundation. Something isn't adding up. Come on, Afro. Something's not adding up. Come on, Taylor. Mr. Music, I love. I can't love my kids more than I love me, because what is it teaching them? Then we get upset with them because when they're in toxic relationships and they don't get out of them, and we're like, don't you see your worth? Don't you see who you are? No, what they're doing, what you do. They're loving someone more than they love themselves. Who do you think they got it from? I love you. I'm going to say that. I'm not saying this to hurt anybody or nothing. Sports free, K-Love. I'm not saying this to hurt anybody or nothing, but come on, Golden Ann. Come on. Sometimes the truth hurts, but it helps us grow. The truth, when we deal with truth, it redirects change. Truth directs change. That's why we don't want to deal with it, because it costs too much. It's too much effort. I got to change. This is who I am, Candy. Well, this is how the Most High made me. This is who I am. No, it's not who you are, because you ain't the same person you was 10 years ago. So stop. Don't use that excuse to be lazy. Don't use that as an excuse to forfeit your blessings and your promises. Y'all better go somewhere. Don't do that. If you wanna own up to it, then you own up to it. Say, I want to live as a failure because I don't want to do nothing. That's the only time we fail, is when we choose not to act. It's not when we act and we make mistakes we fail. No. Because if I lose, I'm always winning. If I lose, I'm always winning because I'm learning. And if I learn, then I'm winning. But the only time we can sit there and say we failed at something is because we didn't do nothing at all. So if you choose to not do something because you're lazy, or you choose to not do something because you lost hope somewhere, or you choose to not do something because you don't believe it, that's when you're failing. You're failing because you're not doing anything. But if that's your choice, then say that. But don't start, come on, positive vibes, come through, my love. But don't start blaming it on everything else. Just say, I don't want to do it because I want to be a failure. Be real with yourself. If that's what you want to do, just be real. The more real we are with ourselves, the more we can change. The more we can correct things. It's me, hey, love. So I'm saying if your capacity is full, we got to get to a place to have capacity. Candy, how are we getting into a place that's full? How do we get there? How did I get to a place that my capacity is full? There's something, King, the land and Queens, the land of the familiar. We choose, right? Come on, preacher. The land of the familiar and the norm belongs to the dead. Those are to the people that have reached their capacities. And they don't do nothing about having more capacity or anything about their life. The land of the familiar and the norm belongs to the dead. This is what I'm used to. This is how I am. This is what it is. And that's why we are able to hit these limits and hit these capacities, because we're staying stuck. We're stuck. We're not growing. We're not moving. You see that? What happens is if you take a child and you put them in the box, they can't really grow. It will stunt their growth, right? And that's what we do when we have these limits and full capacities and we don't come to a place to expand ourselves. We can't expand ourselves forgetting about self. Pink, hey love. Oh, I know that's a little bit hard. We can't come to a place to have more capacity if we're not concerned about us. Because in order for me to have more capacity, I got to deal with me. But we're so worried out here dealing with everyone else. Why do you think your capacity is full, King? Why do you think your capacity is full, Queen? Stop giving away your power. Stop giving away your power. The more and more we give away our powers, the more we get to a place to put limits on what we have. We give our power away because we love. We give our power away because we don't understand how much it's worth. That we give it away so loosely and so lightly. Come on, super. I don't really know my value, so I'm just giving it up. If somebody wasn't taught about finances and they hit the lotto and they got $10 million, that $10 million is going to go real fast because they haven't learned anything. This is how we dispense our power. This is how we dispense our energy to everyone. Then we're wondering how we're hitting maximum limits. Well, how did I get there? It's so draining. Come on, I was about to say that. I feel so drained. How did I get here? What happened? I was good at the beginning of the week. Now I feel like I can't even get to the weekend. Big time. Come on, super. Intellect, claws. We're giving all of what we got so much so is because we don't understand how valuable it is. We don't even understand it's more valuable than the people that we love. Come on, let's be transparent, boss. Let's be real, right? That's how I feel now. I feel like I've been giving everything that I got and there's nothing left. My power is all gone. It's because we don't understand what we have to give. We don't understand what we have to give, king and queens. We don't understand how valuable, if we can exhaust our energy out on instant gratification, and we could give our energy out without considering to keep some for ourselves, recognizing that we have to have certain type of boundaries and limits within ourselves, so we don't come to a place to hit that maximum, get to a full capacity. We give all our love to everyone else. We got none left for ourselves. We give all of self. We have none left for us. We got to come to a place to understand how valuable our love is, that when we deal with love with other people, we give extensions of our love to them. What does that mean, extensions of love? We have a core love. That core love that we have on the inside is our self-love. That core love we have on the inside is our self-love, knowing our value, knowing our worth, and having that relationship with the Most High, who continues to remind us what it is. Come on, Juicy. And then when we have that core of love, then we come into a point to we have it, and it's there, right? And when it's there, we come to a place to be able to give our love, extensions of our love, but the core is still there. That's how we can continue to have a greater capacity. When we have that core foundation of self-love, then we give extensions of love to people. And if you mistreat my extension of love, if you come to a place to misuse my extension of love, and if I give, when the extensions of love run out, I don't tap into my core. Honey, if you mistreat my extension of love, it doesn't mean that I deserve to be mistreated. It means that you don't understand your worth. If I'm extending to you unconditional love and you mistreat it, and you choose to do this and do that and all that, that's not a reflection of me, love. That's a reflection of how you feel about yourself. Because if someone is rejecting unconditional love, they really don't know what love is. But I'm not going to fault myself because of somebody else's misunderstanding. I'm not going to fault myself because somebody's low knowledge, somebody's ignorance. That doesn't mean I don't deserve love, and that doesn't mean the love that I gave was worthless. But I took a chance on love, and I took a risk on love. And the extension of love I gave them, they misused. But you know what? It doesn't affect me because I got my core. And my core tells me who I am and what I'm worth. And it shows me that the direct mirror, that it doesn't talk about my value if you're mistreating my extension. It talks about you. Come on, Super Diamond. And that's when we have that core, and that's when we could come to a place to have more capacity. Because I don't tap into my source for other people, because I gotta love myself more at the end of the day to love people better. If my extensions of love have been gone and exhausted, I gotta get back to me. I can't give you 100 if I'm not 100. Come on, king and queens, it's real. I could love somebody, that saying, I love you to death, that's real. I don't know who I'm talking to. That saying, I love you to death, is real. Some of us are, right now, you're loving people to death. You ain't thinking a bit, inch or anything about yourself. Come on, Super. Come on, Lauren. Come on, Taylor. You ain't even thinking not even a bit about yourself. So much so you're running yourself in the ground, digging your own grave, loving people. Loving people so much so to death. I love you to death. I see. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love him to death. I see. I love her to death. I see. I love my children to death. I see. You're on life support loving your kids, and they ain't thinking twice about your condition, and you keep going. Lauren, is toxic, and it don't matter who the relationship is. Children, mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, grandfather, grandmother, boss, best friends. Barbie, hey love. I know this might hurt King and Queens, but we got to get to a place to recognize our worth. My beautiful Barbie, I love you. You're so pretty. That's my queen, Cloud9. I love you, Barbie. I know it hurts, but it's real. You on life support, loving your kids to death, and they ain't thinking twice about you. You do it with your friends. You do it with your family members, and you're wondering why you're at full capacity. You're wondering why it's hard to breathe. Again, King and Queens, if you are not at 100, you can't help people 100. And we got to start getting off this lie about, oh, you got to be selfless, and the only way you love, stop being selfish. We've been taught that our whole lives. Why do you think we're in what we in? Why is the world in the way that it's in? The injustice, this, that, all these crazy things, the hatred. Why do you think that's happening? Because we don't love ourselves. Hurt people hurt people. Come on, Lauren. It's real. We wasn't taught these things. Why? We was told to not think of ourselves and be selfless, love people more. No, it don't say that. It says love your neighbor as you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, then you ain't loving your neighbor right. That's what that means. Let's stop twisting it around so we could keep this world full of hatred. They want to twist all this stuff around, teach us the wrong things for years. Even in our schools, we're taught the wrong thing. I went my whole life believing that the only inventors were white. That's crazy. So if they could do it with our education, honey, what do you think they do it with our life and our morals that they've been teaching from generation to generation? Ain't nobody ever taught about no self-love, believe in yourself, have value, you have worth. Ain't nobody taught about freedom of will, of choice. Ain't nobody talked about that. Everybody telling us what people are supposed to do, but not telling us the truth. They supposed to do it, but they don't got to. That you're forgetting that part. Don't just talk to me my whole life growing up telling me, oh, they supposed to love you. Yeah, your mother loves you unconditionally. Don't talk to me about what they supposed to be doing. I need to what they are doing. Come on, the roots. Yes, preacher, come on. 6 years later, just now realizing what's going on. Right, Lauren, come on. That's right, love is big enough, because brother and sisters, yes, we can change it by love. Yes, we do gotta be selfish sometimes, because I can't love you right if I don't get myself together. What do you mean? I could, listen to this. I could want to fight for you on the battlefield all I want to. If I don't get rest or train myself or strengthen myself to fight, we ain't gonna win. Do y'all understand that? If any of my relationships look at me funny because I say I gotta take care of myself, there's some issues going on. If you in a relationship and you talk about you gotta do something for you and people start looking at you sideways, honey, you better look sideways at that relationship. Because if I don't get rest and I don't train to be in this battle for you, then it ain't gonna work. I'm not gonna win. You gonna die and I'm gonna die. Y'all get what I'm saying? So don't believe this hype of, oh, we gotta be selfish and this. Hell no. No, I gotta be strong so I can be strong for my family. I gotta be strong so I can be strong for my loved ones, my friends. I gotta be strong so I can be strong for the people I love unconditionally. And one of those people, and the top person is me. What do you mean, Candy? I think you always talking about the Most High. You know, what do you mean top person is you that you love? No, you got to understand my relationship with him. He is head of my life, so he dwells in me. So the more I love me is the more I love him. Because if he is in me, that means I keep his commandments. And if he is in me, that means I follow his word. And if he is in me, I have a relationship with him. And if he dwells in me, then that means that he knows that I love him and he loves me. And that's how it is. So the more I love me, and understand what real self-love, real unconditional love. It says the unconditional love that is in us is God's love in us. And if God is a love, then he is in me. And the more I love me, I love him. So the person in this light that I love the most is me. And I said person because he is the greatest being in existence. I'm talking about person. You know? So stop giving your power away, king and queens. The reason why we do it is because some of us feel like we don't deserve it. That's why we'd rather give it to our kids and our parents and the people we love unconditionally. Some of us feel like we're just not enough. We don't deserve it. We're not enough for it. We give it to other people. Stop giving away your power. Recognize what you have. And even if you have used it lightly all these years, today can be the change. Today can be the difference. Well, you wasn't feeling like that yesterday, Candy, Annie Marie. You wasn't feeling like that. Well, yeah, I wasn't. Yeah. Today it has changed. Lack of self-love. Come on. That's no problem, preacher. Yes, Zude. I have. Come on. Come on, Boss Juicy. I'm going to come to a place to not just be so locked down in my full capacity, but a place to have it. I'm going to have more capacity for me because I'm not staying in this place of the norm, because the norm is stunning my growth. The norm is the land of the dead. No one's going anywhere. No one's doing anything. Did we start off this live talking about good vibrations? When I get around certain people, he said, feel it, feel it. I feel the vibration. I feel you. When I get around you, I want to be better. When I get around you, I want to do more. When I get around you, I start remembering all the promises that were spoken of me from the Most High. When I get around you, I get clearer understanding. When I get around you, I feel myself. What? I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. Y'all hear me? I need relationships like that. Relationships with some type of substance. I don't want, come on. Yes, Juicy. Right. I'll tell you. No, I don't want to be in the land of the dead. I want to be in the land of the living, and not just living, love. I'm talking about, that's life. Oh, it's going to get a little bit deep, but that's real. That's what it is. The familiar and the norm is the land of the dead. And the land of the dead is just living. Ooh, what do you mean? Dead, Candy? Land of the dead. What you mean? I said living in the land of the dead. That means you're just living. Because at the end of the day, king and queens, we wasn't promised just to live. There's nothing in his word that says we're supposed to wake up and breathe and go to sleep. Nothing. There's a whole lot filled in there. Timmy had love. There's a whole lot. It said life and that more abundantly. And that it says life and that more abundantly. It says be fruitful and multiply. It says live a life worth living. And we're in the norm. We're just stuck. We're not growing. We're not moving up. We've hit our limits. We hit the maximum of our capacity, and we're okay with it. Don't be okay with settling less than you deserve, my love. Don't be okay with that. You went through too much to not take all of it. You ran that race. You deserve the full prize. Stop cheating yourself out. You did it so much so you deserve everything, not just a percentage. You deserve it all. When we come to the place to be living amongst the dead, we have accepted less than we deserve. I don't know who that's for, but that's real. We have come to a place to accept less than we deserve and be okay with it. And that's the worst part. The worst part is I'm okay with living less than I deserve. Come on, Juicy. I'm okay with taking the short end of the stick. I'm okay with not fulfilling my destiny. I'm okay with taking a piece of my promise and not the whole thing. It's all right. No, come to a place when I get to the point to start hitting my capacity, I need to get more. Not more for people, but more for me. Come on, sports freak. I'm not looking for a greater capacity for other people. I'm looking for a greater capacity for me. And we can't learn that very thing, right, Taylor? We can't learn that very thing if we don't stop giving away our power. And a lot of times we give away our power so much because we don't allow people to take me as I am. Oh, did we go there? Pepsi, hey, love. A lot of times we giving away our power because we're not letting people take us as we are. We're not letting people take us as we are because we don't even believe as we are is good enough. It's not just about the person, it's about us. How we view us. What we feel our value is, what we feel our worth is. King and queens, come on. That part. Sports freak, thank you, love. Yes, boss. Come on, Juicy, that part. What? It's real. It is real. Let people take you as you are. Why do you think you're hitting your maximum capacity so much? Because you're being somebody you're not. What? You're being somebody you're not. That's why you keep hitting your capacity. You keep hitting the ceiling. But, thank you, Smart Freak. Because you won't just settle down and just be you. Be you. And if the connections get lost, and they get lost, they was never real or had substance in the first place. Because if you had to, it takes too much energy to not be you. Right. That's why, Lauren, exactly. Come on. That's why we're hitting these capacities so fast. That's why I feel hurt, drained, sad, and lost. Come on, Juicy. It's gonna get better, love. It is gonna get better. The seasons turn out. Juicy, I got a song for you when we finish this thing. I got a song for you, love, and you better stand on that song. And you better believe it, my queen. And you better move forward. You hear me? I didn't say move forward on the right level on the mountaintop. If you in the valley, my love, all I'm asking you is to move forward. I'm in the pit, I'm moving forward. When I'm in the valley, I'm moving forward. Don't mean that it's hard. It don't mean that it doesn't mean that it's easy. But I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward. Take the limits off. Enlarge my territory. I'm moving forward. Wait, but you're asking that, Candy, and you've been messing up a lot. I seen you. You don't even do anything perfect. You always making mistakes, and you telling the Most High to expand my territory. Yeah, because that's how He made me. And if I'm trying my very best with a good heart and keeping His commandments, I can ask Him whatever I please, and He will give it to me. If I go to the throne and make my request made known, He is gonna see to me according to His will. I'm telling you right now. Come on, CEO, Eminem, LJ, Bernard. I'm going to make my request when you ain't home. Take the limits off. Release me. Enlarge my territory. Let me have greater capacity to do the will. Let me have greater capacity to walk in all that He has called for me. We are human and we have flaws. Yes, I can demand a greater capacity even though I make mistakes, even though I'm not perfect. Because He created me that way. Perfect people don't need a God. You guys know I say that all the time. So there's a reason why we were made the way we are. Stop trying to figure out and just accept it. Stop trying to change it and just accept it. Oh, sorry, guys. Right? So come to the place of the land of the living. Maybe we got to step into the unknown. When we say expand our territory, we're going into territory that's unknown. You see that? We can't just demand something and think that everything is just going to be peaches and cream. No, when we ask to expand our territories, we come to a place of the unknown. It's not a place of the familiar. It's not a place of the norm because we're in the land of the living. the land of the living is ever evolving and ever changing. And we accept that because we know that we're strong enough for it, and we know it's where we're supposed to be. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, because your rod and your staff comfort me. He's with me. I could go in any unfamiliar territory because greater is he who is in me. Do I got to finish it? Right? So that's what we do, and that's how we expand our capacity, and that's how we have capacity, and it's not full anymore because we understand who we are, and we believe in who we are, and we know our worth, and we know our value, and we have that relationship with the Most High, and that helps us to move forward. If he has no limits and he lives in me, well, guess what? Let's look at the equation. If he has no limits and he lives in me, then that means I ain't got no limits, honey. The sky is the limit because my God is with me. Come on. We're going to face what it is. Come on, Juicy. Juicy, come to a place to recognize you are more worthy than conforming. My love. My queen, you have such a great value and such a great worth. You are more worthy than conforming, than changing. If you were created the way you were created because of the Most High, Juicy, and that is his perfect creation, which is you, that should be the only concern that you want to make happy, is who he is and what he's done for you. So if you got to change who you are to make people happy, what type of value is in that relationship? If I can't make you happy being who I am, you don't deserve to be in a relationship with me. When we choose, come on, Juicy, when we choose to accept the cookie cutter, then that means that we don't feel like we were enough in the first place. Juicy, you don't need validation of people to feel worthy. You don't need validation of people to feel love. You know what? When we were at the point of our life where we felt the most worthless, guess who still loved us? So if God thinks our authentic self is happy, Juicy, then people don't even matter. Because that means I'm enough, though. That means I'm enough, that I don't need you. I don't need to make you happy. I don't need your happiness, because the joy of the Lord is my strength. Right? And if he has accepted me as I am, the people in my relationships ain't greater than God. If he has accepted me how I am, and who I am is pleasing to him, when I change who I am for someone else, then I'm displeasing the one that loves me being me. See, I'm displeasing the Most High because I'm changing what he loves. And what he loves, Juicy, is you. Just you as you. Why? It's like your child would come to you and say, I don't like my face. Or not even that. I don't like my color skin, Mom. I don't like my color skin, Dad. I want to change my skin color. I don't like that I look like you. Ooh, that's even more deep. I don't like that I look like you. I want to change my face. I want to go get surgery. Dad, me going to my dad. Dad, I want to go get surgery because I got a bump on my nose. I know a lot of Puerto Ricans have it, and you have the same thing, Dad, but I don't like it. I want to change it. How do we feel? It's the same thing that the Most High, he loves us. He created you. He created you before you was conceived in your mother's womb. And he said that you were perfect. The greatest being in existence said that you was perfect. The greatest being in existence says that you're perfect, but you change for his creations and not for the creator. If we take it there, we could take it there. If our kids want to change, oh, Ma, I look like you. I want to look like... Imagine somebody said that, or Dad, I look like you. If I went to my father, I look like you. I want to change. I want to be my own individual person. A very giving person, right? But you got to redirect that giving into your divinity now, Juicy. You got to give to yourself first, and then you can give to others. There's a reason why you are a giving person. There's a reason why he made you the way he did. But we can never put these things over ourselves.